Hey guys, I am sorry that I didn't upload last Sunday or yesterday. Yeah, I just, to be honest, forgot about it. I thought about it when I woke up at 10 and I was like, oh. But yeah, um, I quickly wanted to talk about the beginning of recovery because I always talk about the later stages, but not really about the beginning. So I quickly wanted to go into that. So, first of all, how do you know when to recover? I think a lot of people think that you can only recover if you're underweight, and it's not true. You don't have to look underweight. You don't have to lose your period. Nothing of that has to have happened in order for you to recover. Actually, the only thing is that you have a bad relationship with food, or that you have low energy levels and stuff like that. So back in the days, when I noted, for a long time I didn't really realize that I had such a messy relationship with food. I mean, I kind of knew, but I also had kind of a weird relationship to food as a teenager when I was still looking normal, or not looking normal, but like looking the way I look now, you know. But there I had more like the binge restrict cycle, and then at some point I managed to stop the binging, or I didn't binge a lot, but I like a little bit, and then I lost weight and I really turned into more anorexia. But anyway, then I just kept on not having my period. I never had energy. It was really horrible. And I was just such a control freak. I was so weird with money. For some reason, I don't know, I could not spend money. It was really horrible for me. Like, I would think about every single cent for 10 hours before I would spend it, and I never could decide on food. I would always eat the same types of food. It wouldn't make me happy. Then I couldn't stop eating, but I would keep eating like a lot of low calorie foods until I was really not feeling good, and it was just really messy and I was not happy. I could not focus on anything other than sorry, other than food and the way I look. Yeah. And in the end, I didn't even look that good. I think at the moment I thought I did a little bit, but also I was never satisfied. I either thought, oh my god, I'm too skinny, or oh my god, I'm still too fat. So I was just not happy at all. But I think the turning point was one moment. I was in Spain because my family is Spanish, so my mom, and we can always go there for basically free. We can live there for free. And yeah, we went there. And I stayed for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And every day I walk to the beach, and it's quite a long walk. Like, it's maybe an hour or 50 minutes. I don't even know, but quite a long walk. It's not just, you know. And I had such a hard time walking there. I always felt like I was gonna not die, but, you know, I was really just not energetic enough to walk there. Then I had such weird things with food, because on holidays it was so much easier for me to restrict, because I don't know, I was always around people, or I don't know, it wasn't like I was living with another person, and so I couldn't just buy whatever and put it in the fridge, or it was much easier. I don't know, it was much easier for me to control myself. And so it really had this very low point. I was very, very low in energy, and I think it was quite dangerous actually. And then my mom came for a visit, and we also walked like to the beach a lot, but for her it was normal because she had not enough energy. And then one day we walked back and she was like, oh my god, I'm so hungry. And then I asked her, why? Like, how do you notice that you're hungry? Because I did not know. And she was like, yeah, I don't know. I just have quite low energy and it's much more, how do I say? It takes much more energy to walk up here than it normally does when I'm not hungry. And I was like, that's hunger? The way I feel 24/7 is hunger. And this was one thing that helped me realize that I was actually very, very not doing fine. And then also I kept wanting to talk to her about food and exercise, and I don't know, and she is very open, but she said like, chill, you only want to talk about that. That's not normal. She also started to get worried because I was looking very skinny. And I started only taking 0 sugar drinks, which is also very unusual. And she told me like, why don't you just take the normal version if you want something that doesn't taste like water? And I said, what's the problem? Blah, blah, blah. But I never did that before. So it was all very, I don't know. I feel like it got worse over the time, but this holiday was really the tipping point. And then I started watching Tabitha Farrar, and then I realized, okay, I really need recovery. And it was very, very, very difficult to get started. At the beginning, I had extreme hunger, of course. I felt so bad. I cried so many times throughout the day. It was really, really bad. But I ate a lot of sweets or cookies and stuff like that. I don't know. Every day or every few days I bought like another type of package. Sorry, I was just distracted. Yeah, I don't know. I bought a lot of stuff and I kept eating it, but it was also, I was still restricting and I was going on those long walks every day. That was that phase because I was like, I just want to be mentally healthy. Like, I'm just going on walks for my mental health, blah, blah, blah. But it was actually because I had a very bad conscience and I thought I have to go on walks if I'm eating that much, which is a really stupid thought. So yeah, then during that phase, I just discovered to eat more. I stopped going on runs because I actually was signed up to a half marathon with my best friend. And then I was like, really, my hips started hurting, thank God. I think it was just a signal that my body sent that it was not ready for a half marathon at all. And so I told my best friend, like, my hip is not doing fine, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't go, thank God. I stopped going on runs, which was very good. And then, yeah, I keep hearing this sound, but I don't know what it is. But yeah. What do I want to say? Yeah, so I started to eat more and more, but also I was having such a hard time mentally to cope with this weight gain, even though I gained so little weight, and not little weight, but like not that much weight, and I still looked very skinny in the end. But in my head, I looked really huge, and everyone was noticing how much weight I was gaining, and really, I was so dramatic. But I think it's normal because you have just such a distorted reality of what the actual reality is like. And yeah, so then I just got kind of stuck in quasi-recovery. It was fine, it worked for me. I mean, I was better than before, I had more energy, but I was still very weird with food and it was still not normal at all. But I was eating more or less enough, but kind of orthorexic. So I was very vegan at the time. I was very structured with my meals. I always ate the same type of food. It was very healthy, blah, blah, blah. So it was better than before, better because I ate kind of a normal amount, but it was still disordered for sure. And then the second phase came where I was really getting out of my comfort zone, and there, because I realized I was in quasi recovery, I wasn't actually in recovery. And so then in the second phase, I again like ate a lot. I gained a lot of weight. I was super bad mentally. I thought I looked horrible and blah 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 blah. So I was just freaking out the whole time and feeling super bad and blah blah blah. But there, I stopped going on walks, all in all, or moving. Yeah, and I think I got better, but still, it was not, final. It was still not a real recovery. I don't know. It took me, and each of those phases went for like half a year, I think. So the first one where I was kind of in recovery, kind of in quasi recovery. The second one was also kind of recovery, but then I ended up again in some kind of quasi recovery, another half year, and then real recovery hit me. I was stuck at home because I was in my exchange year and we had COVID, and it was very strong regulations in comparison to other countries. And yeah, what happened? I started watching Tabitha Farah again, and I just realized, like, girl, you need to recover for real. And then the third time I really did recovery the way I should have from the beginning, but it's just so difficult. And then my recovery got realer and realer over time, I think. And I gained so much weight. I felt so bad about my body, really. I think now if I would look like it, I wouldn't feel that bad because I'm just not that focused on my body anymore. But back then I was so sad and so stressed about it the whole time. But also I got very happy in a way. Like, I don't know, it was very weird mixture between suddenly having positive hormones in my body, but also being so frustrated about the way I look and how much I eat and how bad I feel, blah blah blah. But yeah, and then I think the real recovery went on for a year. And then, like, after a year of trying and getting stuck and blah blah blah, I had my real recovery for a year. And then since then, I don't know, things have just gotten better and better. Of course, it's something that is always running, but then I very quickly, I think within a year or within 9 months after my real recovery, I lost my overshoot, and now I'm just in my body like I was before recovery, more or less. So yeah, everything is normal now, and I'm so glad I went through those hard times, because one thing you always have to remember, it's a really bad time. I know I felt miserable, trust me. I understand your struggles, but in the end, and that's also what I told myself during the time, I was like, this is gonna be 1 or 2 years out of 60 years of me enjoying the new me, It's not like I do this for 30 years and then I get to enjoy myself for 30 years. No, it's 2 years and then I have 40, 50 years of being happy, So it's just really worth it. So I wanted to mention that. And yeah, that was a little story, and just, I don't know, I hope it helps you to realize that you're not the only one struggling. It's very normal to struggle, to not feel good. It is what it is. So bye.